1. Topic: Modern Indian history from about the middle of the 18th century until the present. Significant events, personalities, issues. Azad Hind Government. What to study? For prelims and mains, particulars of Azad Hind Government, objectives, accomplishments and other related key facts. Context: 70 years after Subhash Chandra Bose assumed the leadership of the Azad Hind Government, PM Narendra Modi will hoist the national flag and unveil a plaque to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the erstwhile government on October 21st at the Red Fort. About Azad Hind Government. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose had announced the establishment of the Provisional Government of Azad Hind in occupied Singapore in 1943. Known as Azad Azad Hind, it was supported by the Axis powers of Imperial Japan, Nazi Germany, the Italian Social Republic, and their allies. The revered freedom fighter had launched the struggle to free India from British rule under the banner of the Provisional Government in exile during the latter part of the Second World War. Objectives: Bose was convinced that armed struggle was the only way to achieve independence for India. He had been a leader of the radical wing of the Indian National Congress in the late 1920s and 1930s, rising to become Congress President in 1938 and 1939, but was ousted following differences with Mahatma Gandhi and the Congress leadership. Under his provisional government, the Indians living abroad had been united. The Indian National Army drew ex-prisoners and thousands of civilian volunteers from the Indian expatriate population in Malaya, present-day Malaysia, and Burma, now Myanmar. The formation. On October 21, 1943, in his address announcing the setting up of the Provisional Government, he said India's Army of Liberation was drawn up in military formation on the battlefield of Singapore, which was once the bulwark of the British Empire. Under the Provisional Government, Bose was the head of the state, the Prime Minister and the Minister for War and Foreign Affairs. Captain Laxmi headed the women's organization, while S. The Air headed the publicity and propaganda wing. Revolutionary leader Rashbihari Bose was designated as the supreme advisor. The Provisional Government was also formed in the Japanese-occupied Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The islands were reoccupied by the British in 1945. Bose's death was seen as the end to the Azad Hind movement. The Second World War also ended in 1945 with the defeat of the Axis powers.